Hello and welcome to my PowerPoint presentation on historical imperialism. In this presentation I will cover the definition of imperialism, as well as the main motives of it, followed by the lesser motives. Imperialism is the idea of building an empire. It's a term that refers to one country's domination of another country's economic, political, and cultural institutions. There are many reasons or motives for imperialism. In this presentation I will cover the three main motives: economic, strategic, and colonizing motives of imperialism. I will also talk about the three lesser motives of imperialism: the aggressive, missionary, and leadership motives. Out of the three main motives, the economic was usually the most important. Economic motive can be broken into three stages: the simplest, more developed, and most refined. The next few slides will give examples of each. The earliest Spanish explorations provide an example of the simplest stage. The Spaniards hoped to find gold and silver in the New World. They had a lust for loot and would take what they wanted regardless of the indigenous population. Unlike the simplest stage, the more developed stage had more interaction between the imperial country and their colony. Britain's economic interest in the New World reflects this more developed stage. Once southern plantations began to thrive, raw cotton was shipped to England, made into clothing, and resold to the colonists at a profit. In the most refined stage, both the imperial country and colony grew economically with their interaction. Britain's promotion of the tea industry in India illustrates the most refined economic stage. The growth of the tea on a mass scale provided widespread employment for Indians, a cheap and popular drink for English people, a product that the British could sell in Europe for a profit. It's important to note, though, that Great Britain still dominated India's economic, political, and cultural institutions. The strategic motive is the second main motive for imperialism. This motive is almost as important as the economic one. In the strategic motive, countries acquire other territories to protect the mother country, her colonies, and their lines of communication. In the late 19th century, Great Britain's most important colony was India. To help protect its trade route, it entered Egypt and built and controlled the Suez Canal. The last main motive for imperialism is the colonizing motive. Imperialistic countries needed space for its surplus, dissident, or criminal population. Australia was first colonized as a prison for Great Britain. British settlers who also came to the New World included poor people in search for a better life, religious dissidents such as the Puritans, or criminals such as the ones who established the colony in Georgia in 1732. Three other motives, the less important of the ones I've already discussed, were complementary to imperialistic expansion. The first is the aggressive motive. This is when countries have a desire for revenge, excitement, power or prestige. They urge to trample the weak, and they want to advertise their strength. European countries were Eurocentric, meaning they felt their way of life was better than anyone else's. Therefore, they practiced the missionary motive. They had a desire to convert other people's religion, culture, and way of life. Lastly, the imperial countries felt they had a leadership role to play because they felt a superior ability to provide orderly government, either as a permanent proprietor or as a temporary trustee. It's also known as the white man's burden. To summarize, most of Europeans' imperialistic expansion was based on the economic, strategic, and colonizing motives, with other motives playing a lesser part: the aggressive, missionary, and leadership. Thanks for watching.